With Marc Gasol getting traded off the Lakers, the Los Angeles Lakers now only have 13 players on their roster, and it looks like they're going to save one roster spot for the buyout market, which they've done in previous years, like in the 2020 season when they brought in Markieff Morris, who played a pretty big role in their 2020 championship run, and last year bringing in Andre Drummond, which didn't really work out as well. So one spot I think has been saved for the buyout market. At the moment, it looks like Kevin Love is most likely, but a lot can change in a few months. But you still need 14 men on your roster going into the regular season, and as I said, the Lakers only have 13, so they need one more guy on the roster by the time the regular season starts. And the Lakers and Rob Pelinka and Lil GM and everyone involved have done a pretty good job filling out the roster this season, bringing in a lot of good players, and they had a lot of turnover. I think they did a very good job, but there's still a couple of needs for this Lakers team. The biggest need I think Lakers need filling is another wing, another 3 and D wing, and a bit of shooting would be nice as well. And as I said, the Lakers have done a great job this offseason. They're stacked in the guard position. You've got Russell Westbrook as your starting point guard, you've got Kendrick Nunn and Rajon Rondo. Those three as your point guards, you're doing very well for yourself. Then the shooting guard, you got so many players that can play there. Wayne Ellington, a pure shooter. Taylor Horton Tucker can play there, and a very exciting young player. Kent Bazemore can play there, a very good 3&D player. And you've also got Malik Monk, who another exciting youngster. So got a lot of depth in the guard positions, and in the center position and the forwards, they just brought in DeAndre Jordan to play alongside Dwight Howard. I think Anthony Davis is going to get a lot of minutes in the center position as it is anyway, so they're fine right there. So I think a small forward, a 3&D wing is what they need right now. And so as I said, they're stacked in those other positions. They need another wing. So at the moment, you only got LeBron James and Trevor Ariza being your only true wings on the roster. Obviously Kent Bazemore could play there, but he's a little bit undersized to be a small forward. He's more of a shooting guard. I think Kent Bazemore could be the starting shooting guard going into the season. So with LeBron and Trevor Ariza, and especially at their age, you don't want them to do much heavy lifting in the regular season. So maybe one more wing would be very nice for this Lakers team. And the best available 3&D wing left on the market for the veteran minimum, in my eyes, is James Ennis. He's 31 years old and he's 6'6", so he has the height. And at 31 years old, he's one of the younger players in this roster, and he can still bring a bit of energy off the bench when needed. Last season for the Magic, he averaged 8.4 points per game, 4 rebounds, 0.8 steals, but the eye-catching stat here is 43% shooting from 3 on 2.5 threes a game, and 80% shooting from the free throw line, playing 24 minutes per game. Now, as I said, he shot incredible from 3, which in my opinion is definitely unsustainable. We've seen well-known 3-point shooters come to Lakers and drop off. I'm thinking of Danny Green. Knew him as a sniper before he went to the Lakers, and he just dropped off by 5%. Then he went to Philly and they're pretty well there. Wesley Matthews, a prime example. Everyone knows Wes for his 3-point shooting. A very good 3-point shooter over his career. Last season, his 3-point shooting dropped off a lot. So I expect if James Ennis was to join the Lakers, his 3-point shooting would drop off, which I don't know how it does for Laker players, because when you're playing alongside LeBron James, there's more space on the floor, but people are just dropping off 3-point shooting. But James Ennis, even if he can shoot 38% from 3, I think that'd be great. That's exactly what the Lakers need. He's a career 36% shooter. That will also do. But if I'm James Ennis and he joins the Lakers, I'm aiming for 38%. That'll be more than welcome for the Lakers. And he clearly wants to join the Lakers. He's been liking posts for ages, linking him to the Lakers. And for the veteran minimum to be your 14th man on your roster, I think it's a very limited risk the Lakers will be taking bringing in James Ennis. I think they should go for it. He's what they need. He's not incredibly old, and I don't even believe in this old myth, but you don't want too many 36-year-olds. I am on board with that. And losing Marc Gasol, you're taking some of that age off, and bringing in James Ennis, I think there's not much better options out there other than James Ennis to be a 3&D wing. And of course, the Lakers could go down a different road. Maybe they want another center. They've worked out another center. For me, if you have to bring in another center, it's DeMarcus Cousins, but it's very quiet around that. But for me, it has to be another wing, and James Ennis will be that guy. Unbelievable shooting season last year. Can play with the defense. Will have a very limited role. He won't be a regular part of the rotation, but when he's asked to come in, he can come in and do his job. Take some of the defensive pressure off the likes of Trevor Ariza, LeBron James, even Kent Bazemore. So I think James Ennis III will be a great fit with the Lakers. But that's the video, guys. You tell me. Do you think James Ennis will be a good fit for the Lakers, or would you want someone else? Wesley Matthews is still out there. Avery Bradley is still out there. And as I said, DeMarcus Cousins is still out there. Would you want one of those guys ahead of James Ennis, or is James Ennis the guy for you? Tell me that in the comment section. But anyway guys, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on notifications. Stay notified. And all I said, I'm out of here.